Welcome to Panther Games. If you're listening on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, links are in the bio below.
Feel free to leave a review and let us know what you guys thought, and if there's any ways we can improve, or if there's anything you guys just want to hear more of. Enjoy the episode, guys.
Thanks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Panther Talks.
Hello.
If I'm right, we're on the 28th episode, because I've not pulled it up yet. Yep, 28th episode. We went back into the 20 figures this week, by the way. So
yeah,
that's some good news.
I saw the start of the first day of the video release.
Yeah.
Last week's episode went really well.
After episode 22, for some reason, we just kind of hit a drop on our regular, on our YouTube side.
Rory,
TikToks, yeah.
Speaking of episode 22, it's went up to 50 views.
Yeah, I know. It's mental.
What on earth happened there?
That one, I think we just hit with the CurseForge security breach and the Diablo 4 microtransaction bit. Due to mention those two bits, I think it just hit the algorithm just right. So it's always nice. Though, even though we've not got many on the rest of the episodes here, the TikToks actually was doing really well, which was like a big left field, to be honest. It just kind of came from nowhere. But yeah, our TikToks seem to be doing quite well for us. Our community manager who's been posting them has been on and on with it. I honestly don't know how that person is able to get through it some days. I think we drive them mildly insane.
Yeah, just slightly.
One thing I would like to mention though, do you remember, not last week's episode, but the week before, we mentioned ChatGPT in gaming?
Yeah.
That TikTok actually got capped at 7 views and wouldn't go beyond it. We didn't get in trouble like we did the time before, if you remember, when we got basically completely silenced by TikTok by Shadowban. But this episode, that clip just never went anywhere.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. But yeah, our TikTok is now on 29 followers, which has gone up an extra one from last time I checked. So yeah, it's doing well. All seems to be going well on TikTok. Same with YouTube, and same with Buzzsprout.
Nice.
So it's all good news.
Awesome news. That's all thanks to you guys.
100%. It's fantastic to see, to be honest, and we thank everyone for getting involved.
Yeah, we couldn't appreciate you guys more.
Oh, 100%. Gives us something to do on our Saturdays and Fridays or whenever we record, dependent on what's going on.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, it gives you and me a chance to actually have a conversation once a week.
Yeah. Because we're terrible at doing that.
Yeah. That is pretty much how Panther Talks began. Just, we need to have more conversations. Fuck it, let's start a podcast.
Yeah, that was after the first part. The first part was just, hey, you want to do this with me? And I was just sort of, and then here we are.
Honestly, after the first 5 episodes, it got so much easier though. Since then, I think we got it
strange and awkward on the start.
Yeah,
you're just, I mean, as with a lot of new things, you're not really sure what you're doing.
Exactly. I think we sort of just got it in his heads that it's less focusing on the recording and more we're just having a conversation about a topic we're both passionate about and just seeing where it goes. And when you get into that mindset, it's more enjoyable, I'd say.
Speaking of what you were saying, Rory, do you remember that last screenshot you sent me on Discord of our hours on record?
Yes, I do. I was calling Will out just the other day. On the 16th, so 8 days ago now. Because his hours on record, considering his Steam account is 6.5 years old and mine is 11.6 years old, he has 14,613 hours, as according to the 16th at 5 minutes to 11 UK time. I have to say that because it's probably gone up another 1,000 hours knowing him. But mine with 11.6 years I only have 9,729 hours on record in games. Though, if you do compare our price of accounts, mine definitely is higher.
His is worth 4.5 times mine.
Yeah. And that's on a bad day.
Yeah.
Like, on a good day, it's worth near 10 grand.
I mean, shit, if the Rust prices went to the highest that they have been, I would probably jump up like a grand. It's crazy.
Oh, probably.
But because the community is absolutely well, the Rust community, sorry. Because the Rust community is absolutely stupid.
Yep.
It varies a lot. But I've seen a lot of my skins have an extra 0 on the end of them.
Yeah, I can understand that, to be fair.
It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Well, I've got some news.
What's that, Roy? Is it bad news before you tell me anything?
You see, I knew you was going to ask that because I was talking about
that
this today.
little chuckle as well just confirms that it is bad news.
No, wait. I was talking to our community manager today because they came round to see me. And while they were around, we were speaking about what we were going to cover tonight. And I was talking about it with them. And I actually mentioned I do have some good news to talk about today as well.
See, I want to celebrate, but I'm honestly just that paranoid. That it's a total lie, you know?
See, I just cause paranoia in everyone, don't worry about it. But I'm going to start with the good news. If you do not know who this man is, it's kind of evident in his first bit of the post. But this is the lunatic.
I know that name, but I don't know him really.
Read the first sentence of what he posted.
Secrets.
He is the sole developer of Stardew Valley. As everyone knows, it's made by one man. The man's a lunatic, doesn't like money. He's bringing a brand new update with new festivals, new items, more dialogues, secrets, and random things that he's never going to say anything about. And as PC Game Pass gladly states, screaming, crying, throwing eggs at Pierre.
Poor Pierre, man. What do you do? What do you do to deserve such hit?
I just came across this though. I think it was last night before, and I thought, you know what? I'm screenshotting that, sending it to myself. That way, I can just download it and it's there. Because I thought some good news was in order. Right. So you know, that's the good news, Mr. Lunatic developer who does amazing things but doesn't like money is creating an update. Straight to the bad news. I'm sorry, it lasted that long.
You know, man, you don't have to go and do me that dirty. that was a little much.
I mean, I gave you good news at least. It's just sadly that's all I really have.
Bro.
But I mean, I can kind of turn this partially into good news. As bad as it is, the situation, I can make it slightly good. Mainly by explaining what this team is doing and the other teams within it. But most people should know. So, this is the first topic I've got for this week, other than the good news that we had prior. So, the second topic, technically.
Can we talk about how you keep saying good news as plural?
That's fair, yeah.
Because that's most certainly not what it is.
that one bit of good information. Does that work?
I mean, at least it was one bit.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Good.
I mean, it's better than usual. I usually come with no good news.
You've got a point there.
Yeah. So
still hurts, man. Still hurts.
I know, but there's nothing I can do. You know what? Just give me 20 seconds. I'm going to teach people a thing. If you ever get annoyed by these adverts, go into Inspect Element. Come here.
Ah, yes. This was discovered.
Delete element. And delete element. Basically, just keep doing that until it goes. Then just close out of it all. There you go. You've no longer got adverts on your screen pissing you off. Really quick, really simple, really easy. So just remember that, people. Right. This is the second bit of news we have for today, though. And it's to do with. I don't know if you've heard of them, Will, but there are teams working together, and they have been since I'd say the first or second year of Skyrim's release. They are attempting to create the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, both in Skyrim's engine. Now, we have two sets of teams. We have a team that, the two teams that are working on recreating those exact games in Skyrim's engine and adding all, basically the mechanics and things that are required for that. Then you've got the other team, the other sets of teams, because there's many of them, that are trying to create the entirety of Tamriel within Skyrim as downloadable mods. If you've ever played with the mod Beyond Skyrim Bruma, that is part of the creating all of Tamriel. So that's basically creating where those places would be from the other Elder Scroll games, except it would be in Skyrim's time, whereas the other is doing it back in the time of the actual games that were created in the past. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
So essentially, they're just creating a mod. Well, I say a mod, multiple mods probably that will add in just the entirety of the last three games.
Yes, basically.
I'm
two
sure
different
to a
teams.
lot of people sounds absolutely absurd, and they cannot wait for it.
Oh, 100%. So you've got Skyblivion, which is the Elder Scrolls Oblivion being recreated in Skyrim. You've got, I forget what the other one's called now. Let me just check. Skywind. And those are the ones that are recreating those games. So they're only doing Morrowind and Oblivion, but it makes sense because those were the ones that were actually in 3D models and things like that. And then you've got the other group that are creating, they're known as the Beyond team, and they're basically creating those places, but in Skyrim's time and setting, and making brand new entire stories in those sections. Bruma was literally just a test, a small test of how Oblivion will run. So that's mental in itself, but we're focusing on the other side where it's recreating those games.
Right.
It's a lot, but there are two sets doing two different things, so that's why I had to cover both to make sure I specify the correct one.
Yeah.
But either way, doesn't matter whether you like one more than the other, we can all admit they're both absolutely fucking insane. Like, that is mental work. So, it baffles me when this community-made projects on both sides, they're all community-made and no one is being charged a penny to access them. So it baffles when we find out that the Oblivion remake devs are receiving death threats, stalkers, and hacking attacks.
Which is absurd. Like, understand why they would do that, why people would do that.
It's an entire community-based project. I could not understand for the life of me why someone would want to do this. Developers of the Oblivion remake are receiving death threats, stalking, and hacking attacks. There is no peace in Cyrodiil. The developers of Skyblivion, an enormous undertaking to remake Oblivion in the Skyrim engine, have been under attack in the last few weeks. One developer that mentioned that his involvement in the project has resulted in stalking, death threats, and harassment, along with the hacking of his Discord account. Which, why? It's such a dumb thing to do. The developer Rebel ZZ, I don't even know, took to Twitter to vent his frustration, mentioning dealing with stalking, death threats, harassment, and hacks have become such a normal part of what started as a hobby. He continued saying, "People have no idea how much time and effort goes into this project." He continues to explain the hacking of his Discord account, which has resulted in a development setback as some of Skyblivion related material was lost. This happened on July 12th, as he mentioned. My account got hacked, and they, the hackers, are now attacking and removing anything Skyblivion related.
That's messed up, man.
Why would you want to, like, detrimentally cause issues for this?
Now, call me crazy, right?
Go for it.
Do you think Bethesda would have anything to do with something like that, or is that? Do you think that's like a very not a
It's
thing?
far fetched, I think.
Yeah,
because
I'm not saying they would. I'm not accusing them either. But like at the end, like if you think about it, it would be them losing money from something they could make instead.
That's the thing. The reason why people are so insanely like addicted to stuff like this is because Todd Howard, for example, the main creator, or one of the main devs, shall I say, he was once asked what his favourite mod was for Skyrim, and he came back with an answer. He responded, he didn't know the name of the mod, and that was gutting. He said his favourite one was the one that gave him a blue following Khajiit. Now, anyone who's played Skyrim for long enough and modded for long enough knows exactly who he's on about. Inigo the Brave.
Yeah.
And he's the greatest follower out there. Now, with Bethesda's past and continuing development with modding, I cannot see that they would ever risk damaging their community that much. Especially considering Skyblivion is actually stated to release in 2025, which is before the next Elder Scrolls title, giving people something to actually sink their teeth into.
Yeah.
In between, obviously, the time. So, I wouldn't say it's something they'd want to do.
That definitely backs up their case.
In the end, he managed to get his account back, saying how he only lost some bits and bobs, but it could have been much worse. He also appreciates the backing of the community and the support he received on Twitter, saying that it goes a long way into bringing back the fight against trolls. The Skyblivion remake is indeed a huge undertaking for a fan project, with a slated release date of 2025, probably before the next Elder Scrolls title. The project promises to recreate the whole of 2006 Bethesda RPG Oblivion, bringing it to the much more modern Skyrim engine. There is definitely nothing better than being able to get back to the lands of Cyrodiil by way of an easier to run engine, higher resolutions, and updated character models. But we would be slightly lying if we didn't mention that we are going to miss a bit of that sweet Oblivion jankiness. Now,
we have to admit before we even begin to think about how good the games are, that the engines that any Bethesda game in relation to Fallout and Skyrim were made on are just all janky.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's what made part of the game.
Oh, guaranteed.
Like the funny moments you got from that, the crazy ragdoll from being hit by a giant, you know, they could have easily removed that, changed it, or like just had to get smushed into the ground. But they just like, nah, bro, that's ticket. That's perfect.
I mean, one thing that I really am excited about to do with this is for people like yourself, Will, who struggle with games where the graphics are like too much of a hit, too much of a downgrade that you struggle to really push through them.
Yeah, it'll mean that everything's going to be updated and look great.
Exactly. It gives more of a reason for people to go back and play it, especially for people who struggle with that sort of thing. It's going to be at a higher refresh rate, so it's going to be a lot better for those people who struggle with.
Yeah, I remember actually. I don't know if you and I had a conversation about this once. I remember I was looking into like 60 frame limit with Skyrim,
Yeah.
and it's actually limited to 60 frames for game stability, because apparently like a
Yeah.
higher frame rate would like cause things to break basically.
Yeah, it is.
How or why, I have no idea. But I guess with the way the physics are as it is, it can't surprise me, you know?
Yeah, it's not a surprise, as sad as it is to say. I know when we add mods and stuff, and when I start modding things, I do remove the frame cap.
Yeah. Give me one moment, mate. I just need to go blow my nose. Sorry.
No worries. I do remove the frame cap because, to be honest, I cannot stand being frame capped. Doesn't matter what it is. Hated just with a passion. But that's, in my opinion, Skyrim how it is. It's just, it has these foundations and all the community built upon it. And considering what these developers are working on, I cannot see how anyone humanly possible could sit there and damage the reputation of these people when they've done nothing wrong. It's a full community-based project. What is there wrong with this? And that's the bit I'm struggling to understand from it, if I'm brutally honest. But that's how people can be. Trollers, hackers, and anyone else. But basically, if I am brutally honest, hackers are effectively, at least the lower form, shall I say, are basically just trolls. It's what they do. They hack most of the time to troll, unless they're after money, in which they're green hats, and that's all they care about.
Hello?
Hello.
Apologies, sir.
It's okay. I just continue to ramble.
Oh, have you paused an hour or no?
No.
No? Okay. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
It was bugging me and I just needed to go and sort
It's
it.
okay. I was just basically talking about how hackers are basically just trolls. Unless they're after money, in which case they're green hats and all they care about is said money. But they have no exact reason to affect a community project such as this when they've done nothing wrong and they're working on something that's going to be truly amazing. I'd say that's about all there is to say to it, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a shame to hear that things like that are actually happening, because that
100%.
is truly an incredible thing to be creating.
I'll be honest, when it comes to pass, I will be straight there.
Yeah, I know you of all people definitely will be. I know you talk very fondly of the older ones as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the other side of it though, the Beyond Skyrim side.
Yeah.
So Bruma was the test, and then they're doing everything else to come with it. Expedition to Atmora, Morrowind. So you got Argonia, Atmora, Cyrodiil, Elsewhere, Iliac Bay, Morrowind, and Rosgria. And on top of that, they do accept people joining the project. I am actually in the Discord for it, and they will actually accept you joining if you show that you've got skills to work on it.
That's cool.
So it's a complete community thing. The first one they released, the Beyond Skyrim Bruma, was phenomenal. Honestly, it was fantastic. And I really hope people check them out more. Didn't know about this Wares of Tamriel thing, but this seems pretty cool, I've got to say. The expeditions and things like that, I'm so excited to get onto it. There's trailers for every single one, so definitely check them out. And we will just quickly pull this up because I want to show these off as much as I can because I think the teams deserve it, to be honest.
Absolutely, they deserve like all the credit for this.
Just waiting for this to load because apparently this website has decided to just die on me. Yep, the website is dead on me. Anyways, go to the Skyblivion website and check it out for yourself because that one doesn't like me. And I'll just pull up Skywind. Skywind loads, okay. I mean, that to me is still just mental. the artwork and things that they're
I mean,
designing for it.
at this point, Bethesda may as well just bring these guys in to help them on making Skyrim 6.
Oh, 100%.
So we can get an early release date, if you know what I'm saying.
Be nice, wouldn't it? But
If...
this is all the things they're working on. Bringing all these things over to Skyrim's engine from Morrowind and from Oblivion. These projects are phenomenal, and I cannot wait to see more. And I hope it brings more people to look at them, because they so deserve it. Honest to God. So that's what I meant by I can kind of turn it into good news, even though it was a bad project. A bad situation, sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still great news to hear about it all.
Oh, yeah. So.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that, so.
Well, you already know about this. This is the topic I sent you.
Oh, yeah.
Ubisoft, everybody. That's like step one and strike one. So, someone I don't really follow, but a lot of my friends do, tweeted out, Ubisoft closes your account if you haven't logged in for some time. You will lose your games purchased forever. And then below is a picture. Now, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to state a bit of information before I go forwards. So, this shows an email from Ubisoft. Hello, we have noticed that we noticed that you have not been using your Ubisoft account associated with email address blank. We have temporarily suspended your inactive Ubisoft account and will be closing it permanently in 30 days in accordance with our terms of use. If you wish to keep your Ubisoft account, you can cancel its closure by clicking on the cancel button below before the 2023 8/17. That's all the email says. Now, when I first saw this, I thought this was someone taking the piss. A joke. And then I scrolled down.
Oh, they've responded.
And Ubisoft support confirmed it. Hey there. We just want to chime in that you can avoid the account closure by logging into your account within the 30 days since receiving the email pictured and selecting the cancel account closure link contained in the email. We certainly do not want you to lose access to your games or account, so if you have any difficulties logging in, then please create a support ticket with us at the following link.
They don't want you to lose your games, but they'll happily delete your account after X amount of time for no reason.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to state a few very rare possibilities, but if they happen, tell me how you'd feel in that situation. Let's say you were riding your bikes one day. You fell off your bike, and you went into a coma for about a 6-month period. You come out of your coma, you get back to your way of life, which takes probably another 3 to 6 months, let's say, being very generous. Then you come back to your PC, you're able to start playing games, having fun again. You go to log into your Ubisoft account to reset your password, and you come across a load of emails. One from Ubisoft from about a month ago stating your account has been closed permanently. All the money you have spent on said account is now wasted. You'd now have to recreate the account, log into said account once you've created it, and then repurchase every single game. You get no refund, you just lose the money. Now, what I just mentioned is a very far-fetched possibility, but it can happen. People go into comas every day. And as terrifying as it is, why should they lose money because of that? And that's not even talking about like the medical systems or healthcare or anything else like that. That this is talking just strictly something that someone has purchased that they have lost due to no fault of their own. I don't find that very fair. Another possibility. What if, for example, as we all know, some people have this sort of thing happen. Someone was unable to afford their electricity bill for a couple of months. Or their internet bill, being more primary possibility. So they couldn't afford to pay for the internet. They eventually are able to pay for their internet, finally, after months of hard work. And they log in to find their Ubisoft account is no longer existing. Once again, not their fault. They can't do anything about it. Ubisoft, on the other hand, we're just closing them because it's in our best interest because our database is getting a bit shoddy. There are better ways than permanent closure of accounts that have games on them, that have got people's hard-earned money spent with them. I don't know what you think, Will, but
I don't think that should be a thing full stop, no matter what the situation.
Exactly.
To even consider deleting a player's account from inactivity is a joke, and in my opinion, unheard of.
Yeah. It's the dumbest shit I've heard of all month. I was just going over it in my head earlier, and I could not begin to comprehend what would bring them to do that. Like, genuinely. It doesn't make sense to delete an account where people have... Actually, even if people don't have money on the account, if they are, like, playing a free-to-play game on Uplay, which I know there's not many, but I know there's one or two, and they've been enjoying it, they've been logging in hours, things like that, and then something happens out their control, they've got to come off for a few months, and then they lose the account permanently, lose any standing they had, everything.
Do we actually know, like, the length of time your account has to be
They don't state. I actually went searching, because I got a bit sick of this, to be honest with you, as you can probably imagine. So let me just try and think a second. Ubisoft closure of account. There it is. Oh look, there's an article about it. Has to be the worst joke of 2023. That's fair. Yeah, we've come across this. We know that. We know all that. Is this the link? Here it is. This is what I found the other day. So this is all the information we have regarding this, given by Ubisoft themselves, and they've not stated when this was added to their terms of use page. Oh wait, May 12th, 2020. And all of a sudden they've decided to start acting on this 3 years later.
That's crazy.
Interesting. Man. Very interesting. As part of our terms of use, in rare instances, we may immediately close inactive accounts to comply with local data protection legislation. This is only if we have strong reasons to believe that an account in question will remain unused. That's concerning in itself. What do they qualify as a strong reason?
Yeah, with them saying that basically means they can just close the account whenever they want.
Yeah. We may also close long-term inactive accounts to maintain our database. You'll be notified by email if we begin the process of closing your inactive account. If your account was flagged as inactive and you would like to keep using it, you can cancel the closure of your Ubisoft account. Let's just see real quick. Cancelling the closure. Should you change your mind?
Requesting to close it.
Yeah.
What?
Cancel closure. So that means it's got to be done through the link. Unless you go for the contact us page. So there's no way to basically just opt out of this. this is mandatory no matter what. It's just, it is such a dumb thing to have.
I don't like look at the state of Steam, man. Look at the God knows how many users that has. Do you hear them doing anything like this? Like, think of the amount of like accounts they get made for well, I mean, perfect example for just cheating on. They
Yeah.
get a ban on that account, and then they don't touch the account for literally ever, and that account's just been sitting there for months, years, even not touched, and it probably doesn't get deleted.
Steam has more than 90 million monthly active users and approximately 132 million monthly active players in 2021. Steam has also amassed over 1 billion accounts. Steam's highest number of concurrent users is 24,535,923, which was set in April 2020.
So, for the sounds of that, unless it's under extreme circumstances that they don't delete accounts.
Yeah, pretty much.
So why have Ubisoft decided to do this?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Steam even say you can create. This is coming from some of the users back in 2017. Even you can create as many accounts as you want. Just remember that each account is limited. Again, you need to spend $5 or pounds or whatever before you can trade, add friends, raise levels, and so on. Also, not great. Or not all games can be shared between family accounts through the family setting, which we know. Steam has the $5 rule, so that basically it stops the trade scam, shall we say?
Yeah.
So they actually have to spend some cash. Exactly. Makes them kind of lose money if they don't earn anything, which is always useful. But yeah, that I think that's just a massively dumb situation, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ubisoft kind of caused some upset this week, and I think that's really as much as I can really say in regards to that. But we're only 37 minutes in, so I have some topics, as we do, as we've started to do now, where we discuss some extra things after we've discussed the articles for the week and the information that's come through. And I think they're interesting enough. I think they're definitely something that might grab your attention a bit. So,
what do you got for us then?
My first one, Will, is about history in games.
Okay, my history's not great, but okay.
Well, do you know why we have history and why we pay so much attention to it?
You pay attention to history?
Well, why we hold on to basically the past and keep knowledge of it and record it.
I'm not necessarily sure if I do that. I mean, the things I hold on to are because they're good clips, you know?
No, I mean like history books, proper history. Sarcastic fucker.
I mean, come on, it's me.
True. So, do you know why we do that?
So we can remember historic events and learn from any mistakes made. Not going to start stating them, but I'm sure there's a thought that comes to everyone's mind when I say that. But also to see what we accomplished.
Yeah. The main goal of history, as you said, is to learn from our mistakes. It's look at the past, keep a note of it so that we don't go repeating it time and time again. We need to learn from these things.
We did repeat one of them, and
yeah,
repeated a hell of a lot of others. But
hey,
yeah. we didn't repeat the Titanic.
Oh no, actually, we've just sent out another Titanic ship. We've actually recreated another Titanic and sent it out again, just bigger than before. Going on the same path though.
Oh god.
Oh wait, our pictures have switched around again.
Oh, nice.
There we go. I put the switch round on. So the reason I bring this up is because I'd like to discuss historical accuracy in games. Now, I'm not going to argue at all that games need to be perfectly historically accurate.
Well, given that they're a game and they've got to kind of keep some level of attention in them for people to enjoy playing them, they will not
Exactly.
be 100% accurate.
100%.
For example, pushing the beaches on D-Day may not necessarily be as simple as you just run and gun and slaughter everyone that you're attacking.
Yeah, exactly that. But I was thinking about symbolism. Because one of the harshest symbols in regards to history is, and I think we all know where I'm going with it, the big red white flag with the symbol no one likes.
Yeah, the four legs.
Yes, the four legs. The four-legged going one direction spider.
At a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, that one. Now, the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up is because I recently have been talking to a friend of mine who's been playing Call of Duty Vanguard and Call of Duty World War II. And all I could think about is when I was playing World at War back when I was younger.
Back in the day, my friend.
I was not gonna say it, I swear.
That was my first Call of Duty.
It was fantastic.
Didn't understand the campaign. I basically didn't touch multiplayer, but I did play zombies, and I remember some old dude teaching little young me how to train zombies. Simpler times.
I loved the campaign for that game.
Well, the campaign's brilliant.
And the thing is, though, through that campaign, you are witnessing horrific events. You see that flag all over the place. You see the actual torture that the soldiers went through at times when they were captured.
Well,
Things
yeah,
such as that.
I was just gonna say, like, one of the missions you literally start where you one of your brethren have been captured and you see him get his throat slit right in front of you.
Yep, first mission of the game. And those sort of things just hit because you feel sort of like you're there, you're in that action, and that connects you to that story and the past of it. Now, if I switch that to the modern take, the Vanguard and World War II Call of Duty, neither of those games have the most known symbolism. They completely removed it because of fear of backlash from people who were offended by it, things such as that. Now,
yeah, that's the state of the world at the minute. No one wants to see anything negative.
Exactly.
They'll happily act it, but the moment they see something negative that isn't that they're not involved in, then they lash out.
Now, we have a typical saying when it comes to games, and a lot of us use it. If you don't like it, don't play it. It's a very simple concept. Now, I am perfectly fine with the concept of adding in something like a mode to remove these if someone really wants to play it and they don't want to see this. I mean, come on, PC gamers have been modding games to add and remove things they don't want to see for years. It's what we do.
It's mostly adding.
Yeah,
usually they add pairs of things because that's what they want to see.
Pretty much.
But we'll not delve into that.
No, we'll avoid the clove removal mods. But that's just kind of how it's always been here. So adding a slider to hide hide things like that people don't want to see or they're genuinely upset by, that's fine. We already do it with profanity. Why not add that sort of slider for people? It allows them to play the way they want to, and
have a mode called safe mode.
Yeah,
and have it automatically enabled, so that only the people that like want that, they actually have to go and actively enable it. Because then your ass is covered in both ends.
I mean, just add a little thing before you start the game. There is so and so sort of symbolism and profanity in this game. Would you like to hide profanity? Would you like to hide symbolisms? So on and so forth. And you can just turn them on if you want, or leave them turned off, and then press the button. It's as simple as that. But I don't see why we should have to stifle creative vision because people are upset or offended by it. It's like me giving you a history book and you being offended by history. You can be sad it happened. You can be disgraced that it happened. Feel absolutely dreadful for it. But you can't really be offended that it happened because it's past. We've come past that now. That there is no offense left to be taken. It's just moving forwards as a basically planet and just trying to work together. Give them the options, but don't take from everyone. Allow the creative vision to still stand. That's my opinion when it comes to symbolism, anyways. But I do find, to an extent, obviously, historical accuracy does work. But obviously, games aren't going to be perfectly historical. If you got shot by like 3 bullets, you'd be dead in real life. Obviously, games have got a way of just sort of circumnavigating that. It's how it is.
I mean, not necessarily. You can play on the hardest difficulty and you die to a bullet to the toenail.
That is true. That
or
is very
you
true.
sit hiding behind a sand barricade whilst infinite grenades get tossed at you and you keep tossing them back.
Yeah.
Like that one World at War clip that I constantly see where the guy's playing on veteran and that's what happens.
Pretty much, yeah. That is sadly true. But yeah, those sort of things, games obviously have a large amount of basically freedom in regards to this. They can make it as realistic as they want or as historically, or as fictional as they want. That is their choice. But it is becoming kind of more and more a thing of people will be offended, so we have to be careful. Rather than we want to make a game the way we want to make it, we will add options if they don't want to see that. Simple as.
I mean, I remember playing World at War, if you threw a grenade at someone, blew them up with it, there'd be body parts missing.
Oh yeah, like, that trench coat.
What was the last?
World War II. For World at War. That was phenomenal.
When was the last time they did that in a Call of Duty?
They had it very slightly in Call of Duty World War II.
Very slightly, you say?
Very slightly. It was not really that much, to be honest with you. But yeah, they kind of moved away from all that. It's kind of sad.
Honestly, I'm trying to think back, even back to like Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2. I don't even think there was really any dismemberment. Zombies, sure, but I mean that's zombies,
Yeah.
The concept of zombies alone is already gruesome. So like, I think blowing their heads off it works pretty well.
Yeah,
but,
I'd say so.
Come to the campaign and multiplayer, even multiplayer in World at War, you kill another player, and there's dismemberment.
Yeah, exactly.
Toss a grenade into about 10 players because you're on a 64v64 map of World at War, and you just see body parts go flying everywhere. That's if you're lucky enough for the grenade to blow up, because if there's 10 of them there, more likely than not, someone's going to have a prompt to throw it back.
Yeah, no, you're perfectly right, to be honest with you.
I feel like that's really the only Call of Duty that had anything like that, at least the last one anyway, the latest.
I fully agree. It's to be honest, there's one other thing I would actually kind of like to discuss while I'm at it. I just thought it'd be interesting because I don't know if you remember this, Will, but Rage, the game.
Yeah,
now
that game's jump scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, that game does that a lot. Do you remember?
One dude.
Oh, true.
There's always just one of those like little monsters, whatever you want to call them, the ghoul thingies, just hiding around the corner. It would never do much damage. He would just jump out and scream at you because that's all they ever did was scream and shit yourself.
Do you remember the cutscene to intro?
No, not at all.
Now I'm gonna play it for you, right?
You know what I do remember, Rory?
What?
I remember sending you multiple screenshots of me finding one way or another outside of the map and falling indefinitely to my death.
I remember that, yeah. But I want to show you the opening cutscene. Because To this day, this cutscene, I've started to play Rage again, and this cutscene to this day just makes me shiver. It just brings shoots a shiver up my spine.
The first Rage has so much more replayability than the second one.
Oh, so much. So, let me know when you're ready, and I will start playing this.
I'm ready. You go for it. You're streaming, yeah. I remember this now.
Yeah. But
so you come down in the arc, don't you?
Exactly. I'm gonna let it play through before we say anything, because I'd just like to get a clear through.
1134, all systems green. Arc launch protocol initiated. Cryogenic preparation commencing. Initiate nanotrite injection.
Check. Cryogenic life support systems online. Subterranean launch injectors ready. 97% nominal.
All arcs secure. Initiate burial sequence.
1134, check. Targets confirmed. Diagnostic audits complete. And ARC personnel entering stasis. This is 1134, signing off.
Understood, 1134. Go for burial. This is Atlas Control, signing off. May we live to see another day.
And that is the very first thing you see before you see any gameplay. The moment you hit new game, that is what you get. I don't know if I can say this about many games, but you do not get an introduction like that to a game anymore.
No, they certainly have done a lot less in cinematics.
That's the thing, though. That 1 minute 37 seconds, they explained everything that you need to know to understand the world of Rage. Instantly. You know about the fact that the world is ending due to an asteroid. You know that the fact that they've got arcs, cryogenically sealed people. You know that basically they buried them underground, and that one day they're supposed to re-emerge. That 5 major pieces of information you know straight then and there. But most games can't get basic plot information like that through to you without it lasting hours of confusion of just talking to NPCs. And that was done in 1 minute 37 seconds. Now, on the other hand, I want to see, in comparison, Rage 2's opening cutscene. I thought this would be an interesting comparison. So, here we go.
It's a game I pre-ordered almost.
Oh dear. This guy's talking over it. See if we can get this. Should be this. Right, here we go, Will.
We had such plans for this world. Our Earth, so mercifully cleansed by the meteor they named Apophis. We had such plans, all thwarted by one man, Nicholas Rain. With the push of a button, our future was ended. The arcs emerged. The ecopods came tumbling down, all premature, pouring life back into the barren lands, starting the cycle of life anew, as we had planned to do with our own
Now, in comparison, those two.
I get where they're going with that trailer. It is just a continuation of the first Rage. So,
Oh, 100%.
first Rage end game, you take down the Authority. The premise of the second game is they come back after being away underground, rebuilding and ready to come back. But there's not really any information of what happened beforehand, other than that they just moved underground.
Yeah.
There's not really You don't really have any idea what's gonna happen either. Like the first one, you saw the meteor hit you. You're gonna come out to just an obliterated world and have no idea what anything's gonna be anymore because you were cryogenically frozen. Second one, you were apparently just a dude chilling
In a box.
Just,
That's it. You're just in this box with a door. Oh, that's it.
yeah.
Cool. Hello. But it feels like in that 1 minute and 37 seconds, they explained a lot more than 2 minutes 51. Well, 2 minutes 32 in actuality. But this entire thing, it's just being talked at. It doesn't feel as authentic. It doesn't feel as enjoyable. Whereas this, it was slight communication segments over just images and video clips of what's going on.
Yeah, there's a bit of talking in the background, which is basically just saying how they're putting people to sleep.
Yeah.
For after the asteroid hits, but like you were actually still getting to see like what happened. Whereas in the second trailer, you didn't see what happened. All you know is the authorities back, and that's it.
Exactly. And if you picked this up for the first without playing the first game, honestly, you would be so disappointed.
Yeah.
The second game is nowhere near as enjoyable.
No,
but I wanted to go for it. Sorry.
I was just saying, I was just agreeing with you. It's definitely not as fun as the first.
Oh, 100% not. But I still strongly believe that a good cutscene can create an amazing first impression on a game. You show me the first Rage cutscene, and when I opened it today, for example, I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty you can, because I bought the DLC for the Scorchers. That's fun. But when I launched that today and I saw that cutscene, I immediately remembered every second of it. It is just such a memorable cutscene. And the music starts off really sad and depressing, and then as you realise that these people are going into cryogenic stasis, the music starts getting uplifted, as though the world is going to live on. Things are going to successfully happen. There is hope. And just showing bits of information like that, just with a bit of music, is impressive. It's great to see, and it brings a lot more connection to it. I couldn't remember what the hell the cutscene was for Rage 2. That's why I had to search it. I mean, in comparison, I have 25.7 hours in Rage. I have 9.5 hours in Rage 2.
Yeah, like with Rage 2, if that's your hours in Rage 2, you probably did the same as me. You sort of played the game, you maybe pottered around a bit after you completed it, but never really cared for trying to do much more because it didn't pull you in as much.
Yeah.
Whereas the first Rage, like there was so much more to do, like on the sidelines, even though doesn't really seem like it.
I mean, surprisingly, mate, you actually have more hours in Rage 2
I'm looking
than
at that,
Rage
but
1.
I think that's probably just AFK'd in it because I think I might have left it on overnight once, to be honest.
That would not surprise. They're just... It didn't feel like it was as much. If you want to know what Rage 2 is in comparison to Rage 1, Rage 1 is a fully in-depth story, world building, and character. Rage 2 is pretty much a game that has just online elements. It allows you to basically challenge your friends to an extent. Basically trying to reach the top of a leaderboard, complete daily objectives and weekly objectives. Shit like that.
I think I actually played through Rage 2. I would say twice, but more like one and a half. because I wanted to like give it another chance, but no such luck.
I
also had
keep
some
saying I
annoying
need to.
bugs in that game as well, but one in particular I remember is the first arc you go to when you fight through that destroyed town that you used to live in. I had a bug where when you hold down whatever keybind you have to activate the arc, it wouldn't sit and hold it for like that second that like the little thing builds up.
Oh yeah,
It would just keep it would be doing it as if I just clicked it and didn't hold it.
I have that bug
So
too.
yeah, it just made it impossible. I've
Yeah.
reloaded it multiple times. I went back to a different checkpoint. Just it never worked.
What I would
And
also like. Go on,
I
Tom.
also spent like half an hour on that trying to get that to work, and then just said, you know, fuck this.
I don't blame you. I mean, I'd also like to just quickly point out, Rage is 23.2 gig. It doesn't look amazing modern day, but it still looks very nice.
Oh yeah, it's really good, honestly. Like it's the environment you're in is what helps it look as good as it does.
Yeah.
Because
It
it's not meant to be
matches.
like this gorgeous, beautiful, like dystopian town or some crap. No, it's meant to be a desolate wasteland with chaos and destruction everywhere, and they honestly made it look really good for what it is.
Oh, 100%. Added kind of like a very comic-y back style as well. And I think it suits it very well. I've never really come across a game that has grabbed me as much as Rage's opening did, and I just hope that's something that games start to do more again. Bring back openings that grab you and pull you in to the style that you need.
I'll have to disappoint you here, Roy, and say nothing will ever have better cutscenes to me than Diablo 3. Something about them, man. They're like 20 years ahead of their time.
Oh yeah, graphically those things are stunning.
Unbelievable.
But as that one goes, for a single player game, never ever have I seen anything like it. And I can't wait to see, hopefully, more from ID again. And hopefully they'll do something great, unlike Rage 2.
Well, it's 2023, so let's maybe give them a year.
Yeah, we'll give them 1 year.
It's not been a good year for
No,
games.
no, it's
So
not.
I'd rather they didn't release this year.
Yeah, I
6
mean,
months. We'll give them 6 months.
yeah, I mean, Bethesda are releasing, so Starfield in September.
Yeah,
So.
given the year we've had so far, I'm very worried. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, only 2
We're
months away.
actually it's not even, Roy. We're at the end of July. It's
I know.
nearing scarily fast.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
It's gonna be an interesting one.
But to be honest, mate, that's all I've got for this week. Do you have anything you'd like to add before we close it off?
Nothing I can think of. You've actually made me want to play Rage again, so we're gonna install it and maybe play it at some point.
I'm doing the
Maybe
same, mate.
maybe go for an achievement grind, you know?
That is genuinely what I'm after. It's the reason I bought the DLC. Plus, it was £3.25, so I can deal with that.
So, you know the wing stick?
Yes.
I think I have like one kill with it, and that's it. I just never liked it. I don't know why. And
Yeah,
I've seen
that makes sense.
there's an achievement to get 10 headshot kills with a wing stick. I'm sitting here thinking to myself like, that's gonna be
Enjoyable. But right, if that's the case, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. What letter do you want them to comment this week?
Z.
Z. Okay, so we've had A, Z,
or Z, because I know some people are weird like that. In
here we are.
fairness, you do call it Z Nation and not Z Nation, so
That's true. That's true. But yeah, if that's the case, thank you all, and we will see you next time. Bye bye for now.
hope you guys enjoyed. See you again.